When it comes to boxing, there are very few names that strike fear in the hearts of opponents like the name Devin Haney. With his impressive unmatched record, he's already carved a niche for himself as a big name, and a man to be feared, the one who dares anyone, literally anyone. So this is why fighters are totally terrified of him. From winning his first world title in 2019 to defending it successfully against many tough challengers, Devin Haney's rise in the world of boxing has been nothing less than impressive. In May 2021, his fight against Jorge Linares was a true test of his skills. Haney rose to the occasion and sealed a clean win, winning by unanimous decision of the judges. This victory solidified his position as a top fighter in the lightweight division and set the stage for even bigger fights in the future. Like I said, nothing less than impressive. This Devin Haney guy, a boxing superstar with a record outstanding of 29-0 in about 186 rounds of fighting, and astonishingly, 15 of those wins were knockouts. Wow, no wonder other fighters are terrified. This guy's got some serious speed and technical skills, which makes him a force to be reckoned with in the lightweight division. But it's not just his impressive record and skills that make him a tough opponent. Haney's also got some serious confidence and isn't afraid to call out the big names in boxing like Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia. Kind of ambitious and fearless, isn't it? Well, this would definitely make other fighters a bit nervous when they step in the ring with him. So if you're thinking of taking on Devin Haney, you better be ready for a serious challenge. Devin is frustrated that he can't get the best lightweights to fight him, and he thinks it's because they're afraid of him. The WBC lightweight champion is particularly irked that Ryan Garcia isn't interested in facing him, after Garcia won the championship by beating Luke Campbell. Haney says he's never seen a boxer go through the trouble of winning a title eliminator and then refuse to fight for the belt. That to him is not a true winner when you don't defend the title. But why doesn't Ryan Garcia accept the challenge and fight Devin Haney? Could it be true that he's terrified to face him? Well, Garcia seems to think that Haney's too big for his britches, and his social media following is getting to his head. Haney believes Garcia has no interest in fighting him, because the WBC lightweight championship he holds has lost its value since the creation of the franchise belt, which is held by Teofimo Lopez. Haney isn't taking this lying down, and that's why he's been calling out the best lightweights for a while now, and he even called out Vasily Lomachenko, the one man everyone feared and nobody wanted to face. He's holding on to his WBC title and insists that Teofimo isn't the undisputed champion, because he only has the franchise belt, not all the titles. There's still a debate over who the best lightweight in the world is. Haney thinks the only way to settle it is for the top 5 lightweights to fight it out. But he's worried that they'll all duck him because, of course, they're afraid to fight him individually. You gotta admit, there's some sense in Haney's argument. You can't deny this guy's passion for boxing. He goes all out, no holds barred, and he believes that the way to prove one's capability is to fight the best. The franchise title might protect champions from mandatory challengers, but Haney thinks it's just an excuse for ducking a real challenge. The Big Four might be avoiding Lomachenko, but Haney is ready to face anyone, and I mean anyone. Clearly, this guy isn't afraid of anyone, and his attitude? It's making other champions look at him with some fear. It's only a matter of time, and if the other lightweights want to prove they're the best, they'll have to face Haney sooner or later. The 3 best young lightweights in the world are Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis, and of course, Devin Haney. But the reigning champion of the weight class believes they're all too afraid to face him. Teofimo Lopez encouraged the trio to step up if they thought they were the finest 135-pound fighters in the world. In an interview with TMZ Sports, he added, "I know y'all scared as while Kambosos Jr. has this to say after his defeat: "I fought 50% of a fight against Devin Haney. That shows it's not only Haney that's speaking." Devin Haney, this name alone, strikes fear in the hearts of other great fighters. Boxing is the apex of combat sports, and Haney is the apex of boxing. He is at the center of boxing with the finest record in the world. In Haney's boxing career and achievements, he's already the best boxer in the world, and he's not afraid of any challenge and will face any opponent in the ring. Which is exactly why every single boxer is literally terrified of the guy. That's right, he's undefeated and ready to take on anyone, anywhere. Don't forget, he's got an unbroken winning streak of 29 matches. Absolutely incredible. And if that's not enough to intimidate anyone, he's knocked down 15 of his opponents, 52% of the 29 winning streak. That is enough to put the fear of hell in anyone. Another reason everyone is scared of Haney is his fight with George Kambosos. What this fight did was establish him as the most supreme boxer. After his defeat of the former title holder, Haney remains the lightweight uncontested boxer. The 24-year-old won a clear majority victory, even with the horrible scratch he sustained on his face in the 8th round. But it's not just his impressive stats that make him so scary. Haney's fighting mentality is what truly sets him apart. He's always in control, no matter where the fight takes place or who he's up against. Because he's not just in it for the money, he's driven by honor and glory. And he's prepared to fight anyone who's brave enough to step into the ring with him just to defend that. Haney has completely outclassed the boxers in his winnings, and that's something that no other fighter wants to be on the receiving end of. Which is why everyone is freaking scared of him. Do you need any more reasons? Well, here's another reason boxers dread Haney: because of his awareness. This guy's excellent at reading his opponent, so much so that he can predict their next move before they take it. And he has an exceptional training routine to build skill and stamina. He takes 3 sessions of training, morning, noon, and night, to build unimaginable strength, making it extremely difficult for any opponent to withstand him or match his grit in the ring. The ferocious George, in spite of his impeccable and impressive record, was destroyed by Haney, and Kambosos vowed to retire if he loses to Haney again. Well, he already suspects that the game would soon be over for him. Who isn't scared of early termination of career? Haney is the man who could send boxers to early retirement, and that's why no one wants to mess with him just yet. He's like a fierce cyclone that destroys everything in his path, a violent hurricane that isn't going away soon. That's Haney. Why wouldn't other boxers be terrified of a man like that? So if you're a boxer and you want to keep your career intact, it would just be safer to steer clear of Devin Haney. The other thing that weakens fighters about Haney is his fighting spirit, how he manages his bouts very well, wherever and with whomever the fight is with. That's why he never misses any opportunity to engage. As we know, his compelling motivation is bigger than money, and he deserves a lot of credit for making the decision to choose greatness. Haney is the kind of guy who would sacrifice anything to achieve his dream, and his dream is to become really big. He wants to win every title, the WBO, the WBC, IBF, and WBA, no matter what it takes. He wants to win them all and defend them for as long as possible. "I am a true champion. I would beat you in your backyard twice if I have to," he said, referring to George. Indeed, Haney is a true champion, and those are not the words of a man who is defeatable, but a man to be feared by all. After winning the Australians' championships, Haney could be legally required to face George Kambosos again. But the 24-year-old, who is yet unbeaten, isn't ruling out a fight that breaks new grounds in the sport. Haney, who unanimously defeated Kambosos in Melbourne to add the WBA Super, IBF, WBO, and the ring lightweight belts to his WBC Super crown, said, "We're not ruling anything out, because obviously I signed up for the rematch, but we're gonna see." Haney just said on the MMA Hour that he would soon meet with his team to discuss the next move. Apart from a few headbutts, Haney stated that he suffered little harm during the dominant performance and is already in training. Before the Ukraine conflict brought the former champion back to his native country, Kambosos was scheduled to fight Vasily Lomachenko. After the fight, Kambosos said he would use a clause in his original contract to fight Haney again in Australia. Interesting. But guess what? Haney's already training ahead of time. That's right, he's not just confident, he's fierce, determined, and fearless. And that's all the reasons why fighters are terrified of Devin Haney.